Hello again. Um, this topic today, as the title insists, is about religions. Religions, my opinion about how I just feel about them in general is a lot of negative, but some positive. I mean, for what I've experienced, my personal experience growing up and living in the eastern United States, is Christianity. Now, I mean, Christianity can be very helpful. It can help people's lives improve incredibly, because I believe definitely has a lot of good points in it. Morally, it's good. It can help people feel better about themselves. Not feel better, improve. Feel better is a terrible way to explain it. Improve themselves. And I guess it's a good outlet. But then the bad side is, it seems really idiotic to me, because if you really put thought into it, you can't prove Christianity just as well as you can't prove any other religion. That's why they're called faith, because you just have to have faith. You can't actually prove it. You just have to believe, which is ridiculous to me. And they're all like, well, don't you want to have something to believe in? What, are you just fine with life being all darkness when you die? But the thing is, when you die, you don't know what's going to happen when you die. How do you know it's going to be a black screen? How do you know it's going to be heaven? How do you know it's not going to be every other religion on earth? You don't know. So it's ridiculous to say, well, believe in this one and just, it will give you some solace in life, I guess. I can't personally believe that. It's an old ass text that just talks about fairy tales to me in the Bible. That's how it feels. But it can be very helpful for society, and especially back in the day, because it really helped people out. But I want to talk about it. So, to start, religion is social engineering, and all of it is, every single one. And by social engineering, I mean it is all created by people who intend on making society into a certain way, as we by nature are not perfect. It is totally normal for people who want to do that, and I am not necessarily against religion, as I think it can improve society. Religions like Sikhism, Buddhism, and Hinduism are some religions of notoriety that I believe are very positive. If one were to look at the First Testament and the second one, they would notice the first one is stricter. The first one is a universal book for all Abrahamic religions, originally made in ancient Israel. Times were tougher, and there was a need for order and law, and that is what it provided. The constant threat of invasions, scarce resources, less society, they were all factors in making the book. Once the second one came around about 400 years later, it was more forgiving and kinder. We all sin, but no sin is better or worse than another. Some common themes were forgiveness, grace, and kindness, all reflections of how society was at the time, which was more advanced and modern than the first. Another example is Native American animalism. Basically, at least where I live on the East Coast of North America, the concept of their religion is you must treat the environment with respect. Always respect living beings, and God will give you good luck and prosperity. This is how whoever made the system decided it would be beneficial to their people. If a tribe/nation abused the environment, chances are it would make it harder to live without that harmony. The problem with religion is the potential for many forms of violence, abuse, hatred, and trauma. I believe we have reached a point in society where we would be mostly better off more secular. I'm not here to complain about how bad it potentially is, just to point out the inefficiencies. This is logic that can easily disprove any religion, but it is a truth many don't want to hear, but need to hear. There's a reason I don't bring this topic up with my religious side of the family, on my father's side, because people don't want to hear it sometimes. Some people do, but they're just going to try to disprove me, which You can't, because it's a paradoxical idea. Where you go when you die, you can't prove it. And they're like, well, just have faith. I'm like, it's ridiculous. But thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to be dropping another one for the industrial revolution, so stay tuned.